Ansu Fati didn't score, but today we saw what we all needed to see. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Barcelona won and beat Mallorca by 1-0 in what for me is the most difficult game that Barcelona had remaining in this La Liga after El Clásico, certainly, that is into match days from now. I think that Mallorca is a team that, although they haven't had a good second half of the campaign of La Liga, they would be place 16, I think, if we count the points from just 2025. They had a tremendous start of the year. They were at 1 point leaders in La Liga. Let's remember where they came from. We were definitely going to be doing heavy rotations, and that's precisely what we saw today. So definitely we needed to get the 3 points no matter what we do in this game, what we did, and we managed to accomplish that. So for me, that's a W in my book. It's a W. Let's go ahead. W. We won. I'm happy. Heavy rotations, and we did it. So I'm happy with that. The rotations that we did were the following. If I open up right now and take a look at the squad, I'll show you what we have in mind. Hansi Flick went with Wojciech Szczesny as the main goalkeeper today. Eric Garcia played the right back position. Ronald Araujo and Inigo Martinez as the center backs. Hector Fort as the left back. Even though he had that complication the same way with Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres, they all made a start here. In the midfield, we had Pedri and Gavi. Then Dani Olmo, Ansu Fati, and Lamine Yamal. And then up top, Ferran Torres. Quickly, let's go over Mallorca. They went with Leo Roman, who had a tremendous performance as the goalkeeper. You can see that over there they put him 8.9 as the performance. He was incredible today, really, the goalkeeper from Mallorca. They went with Mateo Morey, ex-La Masia player, with Valiente, Raillo, Copete, and Mojica, the five-man defense. They went with Sanchez, Omar Mascarell, Samu Costa, and Sergi Darder. And then with Kyle Larin, the Canadian striker. In the sense of Barcelona, yeah, definitely, I was surprised. I think we all were a little bit surprised that Ansu Fati made his start. Ansu Fati made a start. I really thought that Ansu Fati and I had the same chances of starting the game, and Ansu Fati came in here and bang, he came in, he got the start, and he wasn't the worst player on the pitch. He wasn't bad. I think he was electric. I think he did good things at the start. Certainly my eyes weren't gonna be on him. I think that my eyes were gonna be on Ansu Fati, seeing how he played, how he's displayed. There were two things that definitely caught my eye. First of all, I think that these heavy rotations, to do them now was important. I think my prediction was that they certainly need to happen in this game because following the matches after that, we have a Copa del Rey final, we have Inter, and you never really know when fatigue might strike. So it's definitely, in my opinion, better to go in fresh, and I just wanted the players to get rested. And we saw plenty of players getting rested here. We saw Cubarsí getting rested. We saw Koundé getting rested. His very first, you could say, game on the bench in the entirety of this season. We saw Frank de Jong being rested, Rafinha being rested, plenty of players being rested, important players as well that weren't rested before. So good on Hansi Flick for that. The other thing that really surprised me is that, Hector Fort and Fati and Ferran were mainly maybe the players that complained a little bit because of their performances last game. So I'm not sure if Flick's idea was always to play them in this game, or he was going like, hey, you know what? If you complain, come in here and play. Play and see if you actually do deserve the minutes that you're talking about. And I think that at the end of the day, maybe I do agree with the website here, FootMob, because I do think the performances were like this. I had to rank them. I think Ansu Fati started the best. I think he had the best start to the game. He was a little more electric. He had good passes. I like what Ansu Fati did. Then I would say Hector Fort was a little bit better than him overall the entirety of the game. I think he was a little more solid. And then overall at the end, Ferran is the player that we all know so far. He's much more involved in the team dynamics than these two players. But from the start of the game, I was definitely keeping an eye on Ferran Torres, because when I saw Ferran Torres playing as a striker, this is the guy that we're gonna have to. He's gonna be having to play all the minutes, instead of Lewandowski. This is a guy who's gonna be getting the notch no matter what. So Ferran Torres there, I just wanted to see how he does, because it's a little bit different. Now it's like we are relying on you. It's different. It's a different sort of pressure. It's not the same as Lewandowski is the starter and you're the substitute. There's more pressure on you now. Ferran Torres. So how are you gonna rise up to the occasion? And I think that overall the entirety of the team did okay. I think that just Leo Roman, the goalkeeper for Mallorca, had an insane day. They were really, really lucky to not concede more. Like there were points in the game where I have here onslaughts of Barcelona attacks. Literally, that's the way that I put it on my notes, because they were constantly knocking down on the door of Mallorca, and either because of a tremendous pass of Lamine to Dani Olmo with a three in Spanish you call it tres dedos, with the outside of your boot, bam, what a ball, curved onto Dani Olmo, and Dani Olmo just couldn't get it on target, but he got it on target, it's just the goalkeeper that was insane. Then there was another for a tremendous pass from Eric Garcia, another tremendous pass from Pedri to Eric Garcia, amazing through ball, then the same another through ball from Pedri to Ferran Torres. There were plenty of chances, and it just didn't happen. There were other chances where, for me, the players were too keen to impress. For instance, I would like to go once again to Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati. I think these two players were too keen to impress and take the opportunity to tell Hansi Flick, like, hey, I'm here. I want to score this goal. Hey, I want to take the opportunity by the scruff of the neck. And sometimes you take selfish decisions because of that. So, yeah, I think that in some instances, Barcelona looked like that. We made decisions that were a little bit too selfish, and that also cost us the game at the start, maybe. I mean, the team also needed a little bit of a time to gel because they weren't, fresh. They haven't played all together. But overall, they were pretty impressive. In the first half, there were certain instances where Chesney still made incredible key saves. I know in my latest video, I made a comment about Ter Stegen being the better keeper, but I understand what I mean, what I try to say. I do concede. I do think that in a situation like this, maybe Ter Stegen is a better keeper with his feet. You know what? But in a team like this, where you need to have so many. You are not sure when the instances are going to come, where you're always going to be vulnerable, you're always going to concede chances. Maybe in this system, you do need someone like Chesney. You know what? You do need someone like Chesney who is way better, a proper shot stopper. Chesney is that. Chesney is not a modern goalkeeper. He's not a sweeper keeper. He's a proper shot stopper, which is going to save your ass time and time again. And that's what we saw today from Chesney. There were instances where there were some chances, and I started to see what you guys were pointing at me. Chances that, for instance, there was one where the ball was, we were caught offside, and one ball was being sent across to, it was a perpendicular cross into the box from Mallorca, and Chesney just stopped it. He just threw himself there, bang, and stopped, put his hand like this and go like that, stopped it. That is something that I don't know Ter Stegen can do, So I'm starting to see, I'm going to keep an eye out on that, because I got schooled by so many of you in the comments last time, so I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen again. What's remaining of analyzing this game really is just an next goal from Dani Olmo, because Barcelona seems to didn't have the luck that they did in the first half, in the first 42 seconds of the second half, because that's where Dani Olmo simply just turned up, received a good ball from Eric Garcia, and scored the goal. That's where we got lucky. Dani Olmo, I think, is so good in those half spaces, and that's why I said in my preview, which I'm going to upload soon, I already recorded it and edited. It's done, the video. In my predictions for the Champions League semifinals, I think Dani Olmo is going to be so important for the half spaces to exploit Inter, And if we can keep Dani Olmo fit, he's going to be so crucial for these semifinals. I really do think that he's a quality player, and that's what we saw today for the goal. And apart from that, really, there's not much really we can talk about at this game in terms of proper analysis or tactical breakdowns. There's not really much, because this was sort of an isolated game. I think we all know that. So there's some few questions that I do want to debate, though. And this one is the first one that I saw on Twitter, and I do think it's important to bring it for you guys. So the question is, choose your Alejandro Valde replacement. Are you going for Gerard Martin, or are you going for Hector Ford? If I'm being completely honest, I was not entirely surprised with Hector Ford. He's, I think, better in attack. I think he's faster when it comes to the recovery of his position. He pushes a lot more forward. He is more of, we know he's a right back, though, playing as a left back. So he does have that profile deficiency. There were certain instances where he just couldn't play good, But I don't really see the difference that much. I was not really that surprised between him and Gerard Martin. So if Flick sees in Gerard Martin a better player, and he sees a player that is more determined to follow his philosophy, or someone who maybe is more of a team player, I don't know what's the problem with Hector Ford. I just mean go with Gerard Martin. Like, I don't see a problem. I don't really have a true preference about that. I mean, this is an area of the field where we certainly did need to improve in the summer. Like, we need to go out there and get another left back because the gulf in difference between Balde and the next best thing is humongous. So we need to get somebody in. But for now, if Balde is not available, just continue. I just let Flick decide. And if Flick is with Gerard Martin, I'm team Gerard Martin all the way, you know? I think last video I did comment on Gerard Martin saying that he doesn't have the level for it, but I'm not incredibly surprised with Hector Ford either. You know, like I don't think Hector Ford is the second coming of Cafu or Roberto Carlos. So yeah, there's not really much I have to comment on that. I really do think that my opinion is it's choosing the worst of two evils, and Gerard Martin is okay. It's okay. It's fine. You know, it's fine. It's not what I want, but it's fine. It will do. So I just learned this, guys. Look at this. Barcelona attempted 40 total shots against Mallorca, equaling the record in a single La Liga match at least since 2020. Since 2003 and 2004, that was also 40 shots for Real Madrid against Real Zaragoza. And we did it with substitute. That's insane. Look at all these shots that we took in this game. Tremendous. You know, the XG of 3.41. This looks like a FIFA match. This looks scripted as hell. I have no words. I really have no words. I think this is all down to one guy, and I think that everybody knows it here, and it's time to gloat about him. It really is time to gloat about him, and I want to put Flick here's statement because I read it, and there we go. Let's just start to gloat about Pedri. It's that part of that video where we start to do that. Hansi Flick. It's difficult to say what Pedri's limit is. He's currently at a very high level, not only when he has the ball, but also without it. He helps us a lot defensively, and everyone knows how good he is. Pedri was out of this world in this game. Out of this world. The most possession won in La Liga this season, Pedri twice. This time against Mallorca, beating his own previous record. 214 passes. Absolutely insane from Pedri. Look at this. This is what I was talking about. And I didn't know that. Watch this. Widely recognized as one of the best passers and controllers of tempo in the world, Pedri also has the most recoveries in La Liga this season with 227, which is 56 more than anybody else in La Liga. Complete player on and off the ball. Something special. It's this Pedri, what Hansi Flick has been able to get out of Pedri is tremendous. We're seeing a player who is so good on the ball. Like, he has such trouble to bring the ball down, right, guys? Like, the amount of time that Pedri takes to control the ball is insane. And then every time he gets the ball, he does what I just said. And then he's able to, when he loses it or whatnot, recover that ball as fast as possible. That's something that, my goodness, Hansi Flick has gotten him to the next level. It really is like Xavi and Iniesta both together in one. And that's insane. That's a player who runs the game. He's the best midfielder in the world, and nobody can say. I just do not understand when you watch football repeatedly, week in and week out, and you see Pedri, and you do not say he's the best midfielder in the world. Like, you must be missing a huge part of your brain. It makes no sense to say that. You know, Pedri is just so good. He's just so good. I don't get it. If you say that somebody else is better, like, if you say Jude Bellingham is better, like, come on, you need to get yourself checked. I'll pay for your medical appointment. Like, come on. Like, look at this control, guys. Look at this. Orgasmic. Oh my god. I could watch that all day, man. I could watch that all day. Oh, what a ball. Here again. Oh. And in the move, like, he gets the ball, he touches it, and then he moves with it, moving forward. Oh my god, against Mallorca, man of the match, 125 touches, 6 key passes, 100% dribbles, 100% long balls, 4 duels, 1. Pedri, oh my goodness, Pedri. And for me, the biggest, and this is how I'm going to end the video, the biggest matrix error in the entirety of the world, I don't know about you guys, the biggest error in the matrix is that Pedri is not from La Masia. Like, that's the biggest wow factor that doesn't make any sense. If you ask, I could ask my friend that doesn't watch football and tell her, like, hey, Pedri's from La Masia, what do you think? Oh yeah, definitely. They will believe it, you know? That's the biggest matrix error, the biggest gap in the matrix. Like, Pedri should be from La Masia. What the hell, man? He's not from La Masia. It's so ridiculous, bro. It's so ridiculous. He's so impressive. He's so good every week. it's difficult for someone like him to win the Ballon d'Or, but we all know in our heart that he should be up there.